Barbara Umuhoza is a
Mhm.
pastor and the owner of Eclat Communications. She's particularly dedicated to helping her country become a regional conference hub for East Africa. Her company has a wide spread of services such as translation, content production, and social media usage. So, welcome, Barbara.
Thank you so much, Nan, for having me.
So, Barbara, in your role of pastor, what
Mhm.
have you done to inspire healing and hope and strength during COVID?
Well, these COVID times are truly unprecedented. They have taken the world by surprise. So, which is automatic to understand that even in the church, so many things have changed, so many lives have changed with these COVID times. And in my role as a pastor and in my church, the focus was not only to give hope to people, but to also provide ways of survival for the people. So the church in which I am a pastor created funds, raised funds, and tried within its resources to buy food and feed the vulnerable members of the church, literally feed them, and also feed people who live nearby our church, our sanctuary building. So we have, yes, given hope, encouraged people, but in such a time, especially with the lockdown that the country entered in, we had to find ways to feed our people. So our focus has been so really towards the humanitarian efforts, towards providing something substantial, something tangible, more than just encouraging them, more than inspiration. When someone is hungry, you can't give them proverbs. When someone didn't eat last night, when their baby spent the whole night crying because they have no food, you can't preach the gospel to them. In these times, what the church is doing is finding ways to feed people. So that's what we have been doing as a church. We've been raising funds. I've also been part of some committees that have been raising funds, finding ways to feed the poor of our church, but also the poor people who live in the neighborhoods around our churches. Yeah, so it hasn't been more of inspiration. It has been more of feeding people the next.
The real part of just
The real
survival,
work.
the real work of
Yes,
survival.
yes, yes, yes.
Have you had any of your congregation actually die from COVID?
No. Currently, Rwanda has only reported 3 death cases. So what happened in the country once we saw that the virus was advancing, we automatically went into total lockdown. I think news of Rwanda has spread all over the world. Like everything shut down. And that really saved lives. Like shutting down the first 2 months, we were shut down in March and April. So it was total lockdown, really. And that saved lives. But again, people struggled. That's where I was saying this is where feeding comes in. This is where we have to raise funds to feed the people, because if you shut them, they can't go out to work. They can't do what was feeding them. So because of the shutdown and fully obeying the measures set in place, we haven't had death cases. We've just had 3. And even those 3 death cases are people who got COVID outside Rwanda. They came with COVID-19 and they came to Rwanda because they are Rwandans who were living abroad, and they came with it and they had complications already. By the time they reached the country, they were really sick, but no one in country has died yet.
Well, that is really very positive, because they took steps steps early. It was a federal initiative. You know, you did all
Oh, yes.
the right things. Now, the last time I talked to you, you were working on a broadcast to bring to light different social and economic issues in Rwanda. Has that come to fruition?
I ran into some challenges. Because that production was requiring some funds, which I didn't have readily available. As you know, my business hasn't been there for so long. I'm 3 years now in business, so we were still struggling, and I had to move some investments from here to there. But I'm still working on it. And I'm targeting that I should have launched the broadcast at least in August. But then COVID-19 also kind of confused a few things here and there. But the major accomplishment that I got this year was that I got a TV station to sign me on. So I already have a TV station, I have space. So I've been working on decorating the space and coming up with the furniture and equipment needed for me to really go out there and start. But I have a TV station that is ready to host me, which is different from last year when I came to the US. I was still at the stage of looking for TV stations and, you know, saying, okay, I will produce content, and then I have to go and look for a TV station to buy my content. But the good news is that this year I landed a contract with a TV station, one of the upcoming big TV stations now, which has a lot of viewership, young people viewership. The focus now in the country is raising the next generation, raising young people, equipping young people, because Rwanda is a very young country. The youth is above 60% of the whole population. So I'm in good hands. I would say that this year, this contract with this TV station really was a good achievement. Now I'm focusing on getting myself ready, getting the set ready, and producing content. So I'm targeting that by August, latest in August, I should have my first episodes out. Yeah.
That's great. Is the content with the younger population being prevalent? Is your content changing on your business goals?
Not really. If anything, I think it's going to advance my business goals, because this content with the partnership, the contract I have with this TV station, it's going to advance me even faster than I was anticipating. So I intend to reach a place where I can have my own studio, where I can have my own production site. So part of what I do in content production at Eclair Communications, I would say that I'm on the right path. Baby steps, but sure baby steps.
That's wonderful. What are your future hopes for Rhonda?
Oh, wow. That's a big question.
I know.
Wow. First of all, I know this might sound like a cliche, but I love Rwanda. I love my country. And my hope is that we keep having this environment where we are allowed to grow, where we are allowed to expand, where we are allowed to go to the next level. I think if you remember from the last episode I did with you, I told you Rwanda is the only country in Africa, well, among the only countries in Africa, where we haven't had any shooting for the last 26 years. So this is the safest place for me to be now. And my hope is that it stays like this and even becomes better. And we keep having opportunities. Being a woman in Rwanda at this time is the best thing, being a Rwandan woman at this time is the best thing because of the opportunities we have in business, the opportunities we have in leadership, the opportunities. There's so many opportunities for us. And the good leadership that we have is also pushing for more young people to take their position, to step up. So my hope is that it stays like this and even becomes better, because what we see is giving us hope for even a brighter future. Yeah.
Well, and you know very well that it hasn't always been that way. So sometimes you have to go through the bad times to really appreciate the good times.
Yes. Oh, definitely, yes. Because we know where we are coming from. We know where we have been. And I think right now, Rwandans are looking towards fiercely protecting what we have now, because what we have is precious comparing to where we are coming from. I mean, judging by even simple examples, not so simple, but simple examples. Right now, we only have 3 deaths from COVID-19, and other countries are struggling with thousands. I mean, look at the US.
Exactly.
You have so much going on. So I would say that where we are, it's good, it's promising, and it's giving us hope for the future. And as a businesswoman, with this environment, with the ease of doing business, with the opportunities that we have, with the push for more women taking position in business, taking position in leadership, I mean, this is good. This is really good for us. We just have to keep working hard. We just have to, knowing how to deal well with the beautiful hand that we've been dealt with.
Well, you have, and you're really making such strides that it's great. Do you have any last advice for our listeners?
Well, in these times, especially in these COVID times, I would tell the people, please wear a mask. Why do you even go into public without wearing a mask? Please wear your masks. Please maintain the social distance. Please, we beg you. I mean, we look at the situation in the US and we cry for you people. We're like, oh my God, these people, this is crazy. This is unbelievable. So it's basically so simple. Just wear your masks, just social distance, wash your hands. I mean, it has been difficult for us Rwandans because our culture is very social, very embracing. So we are the kind of people who greet each other by shaking hands, by hugging, by kissing on the cheeks. So to wake up one morning and tell us that we can't hug anymore and this is the only thing that will save our lives, it has been so hard for us not to hug. So I would tell Americans, and I know Americans love to hug, I would tell Americans, please don't hug, stay safe. We need you alive because, I mean, the whole world is connected. We are all connected. You are someone's blessing. We are your blessing. We need you to stay alive. And as you stay alive in this climate, in this environment, in the environment that you're in, and I'm focusing on the US because I'm assuming or presuming that most listeners are American. I would say just stay alive, stay safe. And even in these times that are very difficult for your country, we are praying for you. We are standing with you. And we're hoping that all will pass. We know it hasn't been easy. We see the Black Lives Matter movement, and we see how it's interpreted by different people. It's intense. But we're saying that we're standing with America. We are praying with America. And we are hoping that America will come out of this stronger and more at peace with itself, that all Americans will find safety and peace in America.
Well, thank you so much for your wishes. And I wish they would do, I wish the same, and I wish much health and happiness for you. So thank you so much for feeding the people and all the things that you're doing in Rwanda.
Thank you so much, Nan. Thank you.